It's a nice feeling before the trip. Things are packed, the route is built, the vacation will be unforgettable. It remains only to run through the list of life hacks for travelers. Don't you have this? Well, I'll share it with you. Tie a belt, scarf, or blanket under the table to make a hammock for your feet. This will help you relax during the flight. Buy a special air mattress that can be used as a bed for a child. This will help if your baby does not like flying and cries a lot. Do not bring coffee on board. At high altitudes, the air humidity is the same as in the desert on a hot day. In such conditions, dehydration quickly sets in, and coffee speeds up this process. It is better to buy a bottle of clean water at the airport after passport control or already on board. Only drink bottled water because the water used for tea may not be very clean. Eat something salty before the flight. Crackers or chips are great. Salt retains water in the body. And this is exactly what you need when you are in the dry air of an airplane. Don't like the food on the plane? Some airlines have a special menu for passengers, just ask. As a rule, dishes from it taste better than the fact is that the dishes are really quite simple. Low pressure and dry air spoil everything. Our taste buds lose sensitivity and any food seems bland. Essential oils will help get rid of nausea and malaise. Take a bottle of peppermint oil with you and inhale it when you feel bad. If the airline prohibits even small bottles of liquid on board, moisten a handkerchief with oil. If you are planning a short trip, and according to the rules of the airline, you cannot take perfume with you, soak a piece of fabric with it and put it in an inner pocket. The longer the perfume stays on the fabric, the better it will convey the aroma. If you find it difficult to tolerate jet lag and cannot sleep after the flight, go to training shortly before the flight. A gym or a mini marathon are great. This will help you fall asleep faster after the flight. There is no point in wrapping the suitcase in a protective film if you want to make it waterproof. Take a regular candle and rub it on your bag. You can also protect your luggage by wearing a t-shirt on it. Thread the collar through the handle. And don't forget to make a hole for the side handles. Many airlines offer passengers many free services. To learn more about them, just ask. These can be colored pencils, wet wipes, mosaics, toys, snacks, and juice. Each airline has its own assortment. Luggage is rarely lost, but sometimes it does happen. If you want your suitcase to be found faster, take a picture of it before the flight, and then show it to the airport photographers. There is a more effective but expensive way. You can buy a GPS tracker and put it in your bag. It will work for up to 6 days. Use your smartphone to find your luggage wherever it is. Before leaving for another country, write down the consulate's phone number and the phone number and address of your hotel on paper. Anything can happen during the trip, and the phone is not always available. Keep this information handy and put it in a case or file for protection. If you like beautiful places, and who doesn't, but do not please the crowds of tourists, which is not surprising, then it is better to stop using popular tourist services. Build a walking route. Using the maps on your phone, you are sure to find a stunning landscape that other tourists do not even know about. When you fly in transit through another country, you can stay there from a few hours to 3 days. For example, if you can stay in Colombo for a couple of days. Why not take advantage of this? But the most interesting thing is that this does not affect the ticket price. More information can be found in the fare description. And it is better to inform the airline in advance that you want to stay in the country of transit. She can provide you with a visa, transfer, and hotel. When you arrive at your destination, buy a tourist card. It will help you save on public transport, museums, and attractions. If you really like freebies, and those who don't, find out in advance where in another country you can go for free. In addition, there are days of free admission to all museums in the world. You can save up to 10% if you buy tickets online. This way you will save not only money, but also time, because you do not need to stand in line. Upload scans of all documents to the cloud. This will come in handy if you lose your passport and phone. Locals in some countries may consider you a rich tourist and will persistently ask you to buy something. You learn the phrase, "I'm here for work" in the language of this country, and you'll be left alone. If you want to rent a car, take a close look at it and take pictures of all the scratches and dents. It is better to do this in the presence of the owner, so that there are no misunderstandings later. If you usually buy groceries in the supermarket, it is better to do it 2 hours before closing. In the USA, Thailand, Hong Kong, and other countries, the price by this time drops to 50%. This does not mean that the products are bad. Stores will still have to get rid of them after closing, so they try to sell as much as possible. The internet abroad is very expensive, and spending a lot of money on navigation is not very pleasant. Fortunately, there are offline maps. Just download the maps of the city you are visiting in advance. All cafes, museums, reviews, and ratings will be available to you offline. If you have checked into a hostel, but value privacy, choose a room for 6 people. Yes, a room for 10 is cheaper, but you will most likely be able to spend the night alone. People want to save as much as possible and choose a 10-bed accommodation option, and a 6-bed one is rarely bought. You can take a charger from the hotel for free if you forget or lose your own. Just tell the reception about your problem. People often forget wires and chargers in hotels, and workers put them in one big box. If you learned something new today, especially if it will come in handy on your next trip, like this video and share it with your friends. And here are more cool videos that you might like.